friends. My name is Nita Robertson, AIFD, and I'm a floral contributor for Florists Review magazine. Today I wanted to share with you some inspiration for modernizing chrysanthemums. I want to thank our sponsor, Ball SB, for the beautiful chrysanthemums that they sent us. Today we're going to create a wedding bouquet modernizing the chrysanthemums. First we will start by creating our structure. To do that, we're going to need an 8-inch wreath base, wire wreath base, and something that you just might have around your shop is the inside of your floral tape. So this we are going to use for our handle. It is just the inner side ring of our floral tape. Cover this ring of floral tape with some Spanish moss. So you would go ahead and you would just wrap it around to cover it so that you don't see what's underneath it. You would finish it off with bouillon wire so that it is all connected and stays together to create this. So you do start with your handle so that that is done first. It's very easy to carry and we need a handle for the bouquet carrier. You should use the part of the wreath base that has this extra piece of wire right here just for some extra security. And what I would do is I would put my handle on the top and I would take some bind wire. We're going to use some bind wire to attach this handle to our base. So that's how we're going to create our handle, which then is going to create this. So you can see here, you can still see some of the bind wire that I used to attach this so that it is nice and firm. Now, to create the wreath part of our structure, you will take your wire base, and the nice thing about Spanish moss is kind of how stringy it is. So what I do is I take a strand of it and you will go ahead and you will literally wrap the wire wreath base with Spanish moss, as so. We have some beautiful metallic bind wire from Oasis. So this is going to serve two purposes. It is going to act as a mechanic for attaching the moss to make sure that it doesn't come loose. So you go round and round all the way through like that, as well as it does add a beautiful little decorative flair to your structure. So for the next part of our bouquet, we are going to want to attach something so we will be able to hang some of the flowers hanging down to add some nice movement to this bouquet. What we're going to do is we're going to take, it's about 2 feet of bouillon wire, and then what you can do is attach it to the bottom of my bouquet where I want the flowers to hang, and I'm going to turn it 3 times to secure it so that it's nicely secure hanging off of your bouquet. And you can add as many of these as you would like for your bouquet. I just want a couple strands on mine, so I'm going to add 2 strands. The next thing that we want to do is add a little more bouillon, and what we want to do is we want to crisscross over the whole circle, creating a dream catcher-like structure. And the reason I'm doing this is I will want to put some florals in the center of my bouquet, as well as it is adding a nice little metallic flair to this. So this is now what our structure looks like. What I really like is how it just adds that delicate metallic look to the center of our bouquet to add a little more interest. We're going to go ahead and add the flowers using cold glue. We're using the Oasis cold glue, which is made for flowers. You go ahead and you take the chrysanthemum, nice and flush at the back. I cut it nice and flush. You go ahead and add your adhesive. You do let it sit for a minute so it gets nice and sticky, and then you're able to place it where you want on the bouquet. You do want to create some depth, so I have this top one a little bit higher than the one below it. I want to create a line that's kind of going to go down the bouquet this way and then trail down the bottom. These all have the glue on the bottom, and it's okay that they're sitting here as they're just getting more sticky. It really works really well, and it keeps everything really sturdy on your bouquet. Now, I also want a flower here in the center, so your eye kind of draws from the top there, a little break, and then a flower, and then your eye down here. Now, to get a flower into the center of our bouquet to attach to this bouillon wire, you could use the cold glue, but in this case, I'm going to use the U-Glue tab, which is just a little bit easier and less messy for this central part. So now our eye is kind of going this way. Now for our hanging chrysanthemums that are going to hang down our bouquet, we take a piece of bouillon wire and you can encase the beautiful chrysanthemum using the wire by carefully putting it between the petals as so. And I do like to do it twice just so that I know that it's on there really good. This is to keep the beautiful chrysanthemum attached to this wire so we can use it as a hanging function in our bouquet. Now to finishing off, encasing these mums, I like to hide some of my mechanics. So something that's going to work nice in this case is I just put a little dab of U glue and a little bit more of the moss, just for a backing effect, and it also just really adds some really great texture to these hanging florals. So now we have our bouquet here, and I really want to get some color hanging down at the bottom. The nice thing about the bouillon wire is it's really movable, so you're able to move the flowers around and make sure that they're facing the way that you want. But we can still add a few more things to really jazz this up. So we have these beautiful fall colors, and let's go ahead and add a little bit of green just to try to break up those dark fall colors. I have some beautiful green trick here, which I love. It's very textural. So we can use our cold glue. Nice thing about trick is you really, if you do just want small pieces, you're able to cut it apart. Now to add just a little bit more of these beautiful ball chrysanthemums, we can go ahead and add these beautiful cushion ones. So I think a little addition of this kind of yellowy white will really make this pop. I want to create some depth here, so I did one that's a little bit more flat. I do love the addition of the sparkle of the bouillon wire. Just really kind of modernizes this bouquet for us. Now to finish off this bouquet, let's add a little bit more of the green trick. I feel like it needs a little bit more over here. I also think a really nice addition to this would be some beautiful leaves here. So I have some beautiful green leaves that we're going to go ahead and add. Other things that you could add to a bouquet like this would be something like some succulents. You could definitely add in some succulents if you wanted. You could add air plants, which is so much like the Spanish moss, just really adding that little bit of extra textural element to your bouquet. I think we'll also add a few of these tea roses. I have some spray roses here in the nice burgundy color. So, you know, depending on who's carrying this bouquet and how they're going to be twirling it around, we could add more blooms to the back so it is an all-around bouquet. I think this is really nice for a flower girl, really nice for a bridesmaid, and you can do it in any color palette. This one to me is very fall, very rustic, lots of texture, and just something really beautiful, a way to think outside the box with your mums. So here's to modernizing chrysanthemums. Thank you, Ball SB.